Holden. Good morning. How you doing? Good morning. There we are, Holden. Have a seat. Thanks. Holden, have you ever just looked at it all? Sure, there are a lot of decisions made here. Elected officials shaping our world, people we trust and place our hope in, all out and about fixing things we would never understand. But have you ever just looked at the city itself? How it's so clean and safe? It invites trust. No, that's not what it does. It commands trust. Did you know that when the book was first published, the digital copies were much like this scene? The book was released in only 3 colors: the purest white, a loft sky blue and green, like the trustworthy grass beneath our feet. Commanded respect through color. How ingenious is that? Holden, have you heard of a story called The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield? It's pre-digital and we had it destroyed, so I'm assuming you haven't, but have you? Before I became director of a new division of Homeland Security, I had an interesting job here at the publishing house. I often quoted 2 passages from this story to people in your similar situation. There is something about words. In expert hands, manipulated deftly, they take you prisoner, wind themselves around your limbs like spider silk. And when you are so enthralled you cannot move, they pierce your skin, enter your blood, numb your thoughts inside you. They work like magic. My gripe is not with lovers of truth, but with truth herself. What succor, what consolation is there in truth, compared to a story? What good is truth at midnight in the dark, when the wind is roaring like a bear in the chimney, when the lightning strikes shadows on the bedroom wall and the rain taps at the window with its long fingernails? No, when fear and cold make a statue of you in your bed, don't expect hard-bone and fleshless truth to come running to your aid. What you need are the plump comforts of a story, the soothing, rocking safety of a lie. Unedited, those quotes. The first proves the truth of who we are and what we are capable of, and then its supporting quote reveals the importance of listening to lies. Don't you see, Mr. Clifford? This is actually what people want, what man wants. Maybe what you are fighting against isn't really all that bad.
So, what is it you want me to do? I'm a man of little talent, but I mean, I'm not dumb. You guys could have taken care of me by now, so I figure you obviously chose me for a reason. You stand here acting like you're just a regular guy, but I know how this works. You took me against my will in front of my kid, and she got hurt in the process. I'll do whatever I gotta do it, just as long as you leave her out of it. Capiche? We both know you had my number in the park and decided to let me go. So let's get on with the show, and you tell me what role I'm playing.
Well, Mr. Clifford, we at the publishing house work on a 100-year plan. You have arrived serendipitously at the culmination of one plan and the beginning of another. We see quite a purpose for you. Plain and simple, we have a need, and I see in you a way to fill that need. You're going to be known by everyone in the entire world.
What? Why would people know me?
What you see there is the last library in existence, the Library of Congress. And you, Mr. Clifford, you will demolish that building and every last book within its wall.
Why are you telling me this? Why not just force me to do it?
Because we know it's the right thing to do, and we want to give you the option of going out for the right reasons.
But it won't work. People need to know that originals exist somewhere.
You're precisely right, Holden. There are thousands of books left unchecked in the world. Mind you, that number dwindles by the day. And even when we come and take them from the house next door, watchful neighbors accept it because they know there are still books out there. They accept the depravity of the world without paper because there is one copy of every book that has ever been written in that building. Right there, 700 feet away. And how horrible that you, the leader of the freethinkers, chose to destroy the only ones that we were keeping safe.
The free thinkers? Why are you associating me with them? Those guys don't care about the book.
We're well aware. We've been watching them for a while now. Yes, we know you went to the meeting. See, that's why we chose you, Holden. Why I chose you. I know you have the passion. You aren't a lemming like all the others, following blindly into a minefield. The freethinkers are helpless drones. Everything they have done, we have allowed, and when we want to orchestrate a new move of our own, we simply blame it on them, which in the end, they take credit for happily.
Like Marion and the bar.
Ah, the library. Clever name.
Can you give me a second to process this? I mean, this is huge, and I get it. If I'm not with ya, I'm against ya. I guess I just feel like something still isn't making sense. There has to be more to this than just getting rid of a few nail-biting thrillers.
Well, after the library is gone, sure, our next move is to destroy a building that we say is a publishing house. Then we take the book offline for a few weeks. When it comes back, there's a whole new format. And, whoopsie, there are things missing. We make some swift cuts and then blame it on the terrorists. You. Entire books could finally be destroyed. Partials corrupted. Normally in this instance, we would go to our store of originals.
But I've destroyed them all. Sounds like you've really thought this through, but I think you're lying.
I'm sorry?
That's not why you're doing this. I mean, don't get me wrong. It makes sense why you would, but I think there's an even bigger purpose. You want to destroy other documents, the important ones, government stuff?
Well, I would be lying if I didn't say that would be a pleasant fallout. And Martin Trust doesn't lie. Yes, we mourn our literature, our historic accounts of war and glory. When we replace this country's most cherished documents and records, declarations and proclamations with holographic images, well, it gives mourning a whole new meaning, doesn't it?
Nothing could stop you from creating an entirely new government.
Not next year, no. Not even 30 years from now. But remember, we follow a 100-year plan. We're hoping you would want to be part of this, on your own, after learning how important it is to the survival of our country. And yet, Mr. Clifford, I know what you're thinking. And you're wrong. It isn't about control. It's about peace, Holden. You would be playing one of the largest roles in reestablishing peace in our world. I know. But at what cost? Think of how sustainable our world is today. Waking up in its veneer of environmentalism is like sitting down for a good meal where every day is a delicious bite. But you can't make a great steak without killing the cow, right, Holden? There have always been side effects and negative repercussions to the recycling movement, but wasn't a utopia worth it? With this, destroying the building, we would have peace. For the first time ever, a world without war and tragedy. Isn't such a thing worth a little freedom being stripped away? Do you recognize that structure across the yard on our left? That's the Capitol building. Interesting detail when the dome was under construction, with girders poking out and looking like a broken bottle. Abraham Lincoln, our greatest president, stood beneath it and gave his inaugural address to a country that was completely divided. The man had to wear a disguise on his way there, just to avoid assassination. Less than 1 month later, the Civil War began, and our country bled its brothers and sisters dry for the rest of its term. He was killed 2 weeks after his second inaugural. Shame. But do you know what the man is most remembered for today?
Obvious. He got rid of slavery, man. That was huge.
That's right. The Emancipation Proclamation. Hold on 1 second, Holden. I'm going to read you an excerpt, unedited, from a famous letter written by Abraham Lincoln to the editor of the New York Tribune. Are you ready, Holden?
Sure.
As to the policy I seem to be pursuing, as you say, I have not meant to leave anyone in doubt. I would save the Union. I would save it the shortest way under the Constitution. The sooner the national authority can be restored, the nearer the Union will be, the Union as it was. If there be those who would not save the Union unless they could at the same time save slavery, I do not agree with them. If there be those who would not save the Union unless they could at the same time destroy slavery, I do not agree with them. My paramount object in this struggle is to save the Union, and it is not either to save or to destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that. What I do about slavery and the colored race, I do it because it helps save the Union. Don't you see, Holden? Even the man who abolished slavery said he would keep it if it meant peace. The cost of enslaving others is great and tragic and real, but the reward, Holden? The reward is everlasting, and it would be for you too.
That's not true. Everyone in the world would hate me.
Sure, they'll hate you now. People hated Lincoln, but who controls history? Who determines the ones that have statues erected in their honor? Immortality, Holden. Do this for us, and you are immortal, a hero to the generations of the future. History books will enthrone you, and your gravestone will be the largest in the country.
Sounds good. When do I get started?
Well, let me see. I got it. How about we film a scene of you, okay? And this scene's going to be next to a bookshelf that looks identical to one in the Library of Congress. Sounds good?
All right. Lights out, Superman!